Hello everyone. Today I would like to do a quick skill review of a skill that can be fairly confusing for new rangers. And this is one of the skills where you have to really read the fine print about the skill, because this skill in comparison to another skill really makes it hard to determine which skill is ideal for which situation. Now, the two skills I'm referring to, and one in particular, are Penetrating Attack and Power Shot. I'm going to focus on Penetrating Attack for right now. These two skills you get very early in the campaign, especially if you are starting out in the Prophecies campaign. So much so that Power Shot is actually the very first skill you acquire in Pre-Searing. These skills, when compared side by side, really makes it difficult to see which one is ideal for which situation. Now, with Power Shot, just to start, Power Shot is very simple. For 10 energy and a 3-second recharge, it's a bow attack that does a straight up 47 damage every single time. It doesn't matter what the armor of the target is, it doesn't matter what your individual bow attacks do, it doesn't matter if, what kind of resistances they have. It's straight up 47 consistent every single time. Okay, now let's take a look at Penetrating Attack. Penetrating Attack, fairly similar. 10 energy, 3 3/4 of a second activation time, it's a little bit slower, and a 4-second recharge time, also a little bit slower than Power Shot. Also a bow attack, and if it hits, you strike for plus 22 damage, and this attack has 10% armor penetration. Now, the reason this is a little bit confusing about which is which is, well, okay, what's the difference between Penetrating Attack and Power Shot? One is an additive damage plus some armor penetration, the other one is a straight up value of 47 in this case. And just to be consistent, this is 47 at 13. And both of these skills are in the marksmanship line. So again, very common ancestry in their requirements. Well, Penetrating Attack has a couple things. First of all, it's added to your main bow attack. With Power Shot, it's straight up 47. For Penetrating Attack, it's your bow attack plus 22 damage, which means you have to add in the variance of your bow attack. So, your bow attack can hit for normal damage, or it can go up or it can go down. Now, in this case, with a short bow, I can hit a minimum of 15 damage. I can go up to 28 damage. That's a pretty large range, actually. But whatever it is, you add 22 on top of it. Okay, that's great. Plus 10% armor penetration. Now here's the thing. With armor penetration is key against high armored targets. So if you had to hit a high armored target with no armor penetration versus 10% armor penetration, of course, you're going to deal more damage with 10% armor penetration. However, one factor is this. The lower armor the target you're shooting at, the more damage you're going to do. So if you have 10% armor penetration versus an 80 armor target, then that'll do some damage. But versus a 60 armor target, you'll do more damage. So you'll actually do more damage for armor penetration as it goes down. That's what's unique about this skill. It's a little counterintuitive, but again, it's not really so much counterintuitive as it is what you're comparing against. And what we're comparing against here is, frankly, an attack that will do 47 damage regardless of the armor it is. It's kind of like a holy attack or a dark attack or something like that, or shadow, where it ignores the armor. And that's the key thing. Armor is not a factor with Power Shot. With Penetrating Attack, it is a factor. Plus the variance of your bow attack. So just to summarize real quick, and I'll demonstrate here in just a moment, penetrating attack, and this is also according to the wiki, but I'm going to show this here in just a moment, is ideal for armor targets that have an armor rating of 80 or below. Namely, these are targets that you'll normally find in normal mode, or they are against caster type targets in hard mode. Power shot is what you will use against high armor targets because it's the equivalent of armor ignoring damage, whether again as I mentioned, holy, shadow, something like that. It's not the straight up same as your normal bow attack. If power shot, for example, was okay plus 47 damage on top of your bow attack, then it would have the same mechanics as penetrating shot. But because it doesn't have armor penetration, but the thing is, it doesn't need to. It's essentially, quote, 100% armor penetration because it ignores the armor of your target. This bow attack is ideal for high armored targets. So if you know the area, or you know what your job is going to be, or you know what targets you're going to go after, if it's a high armored target or a target where, okay, you need consistent damage regardless of the armor it is, go with power shot, the very first skill that you get as a ranger in the game. If you know you're going after casters, more or less, or armor targets at 80 or below, then you want penetrating attack. Because the thing about penetrating attack, that if it crits, if you get a critical strike, the damage can be very high. With power shot, it's always 47. With penetrating attack, as I don't know if I'll demonstrate it, but what I've seen is it can go up to 71, 72 easily. So anyways, enough talk, let's actually see it in action. Now there are two places in the Crystal Desert which I'm going to demonstrate here. First of all, I'm going to go down to Dunes of Despair. There you go. Now in this area, an area I believe is called, Vulture Drifts, there are enemies that are called enchanted bows, enchanted hammers, things like that. They have a very, very high armor rating of like 113. And I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. But I'm going to compare penetrating attack versus power shot. So let's just grab some henchies here. We'll do it, and then grab the healer. Come on. Let's you want? Yeah, we got both. Okay. Actually, no. Let's do Orion. There we go. Okay. So let's go out and let's show it here. Again, short bow, horn bow, Eldrimor bow. It's a recurve bow. I would really do a good video on the different type of bows and what they do. But let's see here. We'll go with the Mersat short bow. So the Mersat short bow, it's basically plain. It does have 20% damage, okay, because it is customized for my character. 15 to 28, but no inscriptions. Okay. And I got that bow from the bonus Mersat storyline for Saul. Needed a short bow. I got a short bow. Okay. Anyways, let's go out here. So over here to the left, you're gonna see these enchanted swords. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to use power shot, and then I'm going to use penetrating attack, and we'll see what the difference is. Just do surface quickness real quick. Okay, let's do that hammer. Okay, there's 47. And now 32. That's penetrating attack. Let's try another one. Okay, you blocked that. Let's try this. 47 again. Power shot. 47. So again, these are very high armored targets. And okay, it is a little bit of equivalent because penetrating attack does less damage. Yeah, see, there's 33. bang, 47. So we want to keep using power shot because that is what gives consistent damage. It's 47 every single time. Okay, now let's move up here. So against high armored targets, again, those are around 115, checking Guild Wars Wiki. Power shot 47 all the time. Penetrating attack falls to around 32, 33, around that range. I don't think I got a crit anywhere, but even if I did, it would probably just bring it up around power shot level, but that's about it. But on the whole, though, penetrating attack does less damage, even with the variance of critical shots or whatever. Now, let's go out here, and we are going to beat up on some sand elementals. And they have an armor rating of about 70. So they fall below that 80 armor level. And this is why if you do a lot of vanquishing or you do a lot of PvE where you know the area you're going to go into, it doesn't hurt to check Guild Wars Wiki to see what the armor values are for the enemies that you're going to encounter. It can actually be quite helpful, especially in a martial tradition. Okay, there's Sundering Attack. Okay, one. Down he goes. Okay. So yeah, I don't quite want to over aggro if I can help it. So we'll move far to the left. Some intersecting patrols here. I don't want to get too overwhelmed. Okay, let's just... Okay, again, 47 power shot. 45. How about the equivalent? 47 for penetrating attack. Again. Let's see if we can get a crit here. Okay, there's 49 now. That one was above. 45, okay, about the equivalent. 53. Okay, so now that one takes the bow variance into account. And now we're hitting a bit high. Oh, there's 55. Okay. 48. Again. 55. Okay, so first couple attacks, about the exact same equivalent as power shot. Again, they are the same energy cost, so essentially they are the same, they are equivalent. But then the last couple ones went up to 52, 55, which is higher than power shot. One last test here. Let's go over to Maguma Jungle, Henja Denravi, and we're going to just take a look at some lighter enemies out here, and we'll see the difference. We'll give it a shot. Head outside here. Let's see. We got okay, main. We got Dunham. We got a little Tom again. Okay, I'm gonna go out in normal mode. Same thing with a short bow, so I'm gonna be fairly short range. Does have the plus 20% damage. That's the other thing, though. Power shot does not take into the plus 20% damage of your bow. Mine is plus 20%. So if you have a bow that is not customized for you, that's going to bring down your penetrating attack as well. So, anyways, in fact, damage was 15. That's about 50. One on the stance. Maybe we can try the horn bow just to see that variance. Just a little bit here. Okay, so we're gonna go out here. It's a life pod. 88. Another one. Boom, 88. And that's with a moss scared. Okay, let's try it again. 88 again. And there's the power shot. 47. Big difference at that point. 57. Now it's consistently much higher. 53. But you saw that crit up to 88. And that is almost twice the difference that you would see with penetrating attack. And here now, you see penetrating attack do consistently higher damage than power shot. So now let's just move to the horn bow. Now there's a 20% chance it will get that plus 20% armor penetration. So I may throw it off here, but let's see if we can just show the difference between a customized bow and a non-customized bow. They do have the same damage variance, although they have different bow characteristics. Again, probably a separate video. I'll have to note that down. That it would be worthwhile to go through the different bows and just see what they do. Okay, so again, there's 47. Now, 9, 68, 42, 47. Okay, so you see that that customization does make a difference. Okay, there was a pretty nice crit, like 66. Alright, there's a really good one. 73 again. This could also be 20% true. And there's 50. Okay, let's go back to Henshin Denrabi. So, penetrating attack versus power shot. Basic rule of thumb is the higher armor your target is, you want to go with power shot. But if you have a lower armor target or you have a casting target that you want to attack, then penetrating attack becomes more ideal and can really overcome the difference between power shot and penetrating attack against a high armor target. Because on a low armor target, you can get crits, it's added on top of your bow damage. Everything gets factored in customizations, or in this case, I have Royan's horn bow. If you get that extra 20% armor penetration, well, then it's just juice. And you know, I just noticed this one is also customized, so that analysis is actually not quite correct. Oh well, sorry guys, I didn't realize that that was also customized. Next, I need to take a closer look. Anyways, even though it's customized, though, you can see that they landed about the same. So I am going to go forward with the theory that if that 20% was not there, your normal bow attacks would go lower, and basically penetrating attack would still be good, but would not be as good. It would fall more in line with power shot. So penetrating attack, definitely ideal to use with customized weapons. Anything that can stack, armor penetration or damage, all features into, or all goes into penetrating attack. With power shot, it doesn't matter. So one thing to keep in mind there, again, when you do your ranger build or you go into areas where you have high armor targets or low armor targets, you know what you want to go after. Make sure you take a look at these two skills and decide which one is appropriate for your situation. So anyways, that is my analysis of these two bow attacks. They are both useful, but they are useful in two situations. Rarely will you find a skill bar like this where you have both on the same skill bar. Usually it's going to be one or the other. I just have it here again for comparison purposes. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be sure to do some more again. Rangers, haven't had a whole lot of skills done for them, but I think this one here is one that can definitely present some confusion for a new Ranger player, and that the advantages and the disadvantages between penetrating attack and power shot are not entirely that clear. It's like, well, why would you use one or the other? Now, I hope it's a little more clear. So anyways, thank you guys. I'll talk to you soon and have fun.